And here we are in the kitchen again today with Tammie. Tammie, what have you got cooking up for us today?
Well, it's Christmas time, so I am making another batch of peanut brittle. And Bart's aunt was a candy maker. She went through probably 100 pounds of butter and several hundred pounds of sugar. And she swore by C&H sugar. So that's what I use. And I'm not as good as her, but my peanut brittle always turns out, so that's good. So before you get started, you want to have everything out. Make sure you've got all of your ingredients. And I've got my pan ready. It doesn't say to grease it, but I like to just put a little bit of a spray on it, and I don't want my candy to stick. And then you need to have a heat-proof surface to put, because when candy's done, it's coming out at 300 degrees, so you don't want it to be on your countertops unless they're heat proof. So I'm going to get my soda ready. The recipe calls for only 1 teaspoon, but I like my peanut brittle really airy, so I triple that, and I use a whole tablespoon, and it doesn't hurt it at all, so don't be worried. So first of all, we've got 2 cups of sugar, and also you need a good heavy pan, and I believe I got this from my mother-in-law. So this is a 3-quart saucepan.
And she has already made 1 batch of this, but she didn't hide it all that well, and I found it. So
it's almost gone.
She's got to make more.
So you start with your 2 cups of sugar, 1 cup of light corn syrup. That almost went all over the place. That would have been funny.
It still might.
It might. No, it's not. It might before I get it to the pan. I got it kind of full. Oh, there we go. And half a cup of sugar. I'm not sugar, of water, pardon me. And this cup has marks on it for half a cup, so I'm just going to use this same cup. And the water actually all boils out of it anyway, so it doesn't have to be as precise, but it is marked. Then you put this on the stove and bring it to a boil. See, our sugar and corn syrup and water have come to a boil, and the sugar has dissolved. You can tell when it's dissolved, it turns clear, although that's hard to see when it's boiling, but it has turned clear. Then we're going to put in our half a pound of butter. And be careful when you put it in, because this is hot and it will burn you if you splash it. So the butter will melt in, and we'll stir it quite often. You need a candy thermometer You can do water testing, but I don't like to do that. So it's nice to invest in a good candy thermometer. And it needs to reach 280. When it reaches 280, then you put in the nuts and cook it till it's at a hard crack, which is 305. And then it will be ready for the soda. And we'll be done. Okay, so we're at 180. Time to put in the peanuts, and then you have to stir like crazy till it gets back up to 305. All right, so we've reached 305 now. I'm going to take this out. The glass doesn't get hot, but the metal part does, so don't touch that. And turn it off, move it off the heat, and stir in our soda. So I like watching it bubble up. And dump it in our pan. And just like that, you've got 2.5 pounds of peanut brittle. So as soon as your brittle cools down a bit, you want to release it from the pan. And I just push it down like this, and it pops right up. Then I think this is cool enough to break up. We'll see. Oh, yeah.
All right. Hope you don't find a better hiding spot for this.
All right, that concludes the peanut brittle for now. And now we're going to move on to toffee. I've got my butter melting in the pan. It takes a whole pound, and I use a higher quality butter when I make toffee. So still C&H sugar, takes a little bit of water. It's amazing. Candy is all the same ingredients. It's just how you cook it.
All right, let's move on to that.
So I'm using a bigger pan for the toffee, mostly because the recipe doesn't say what size to use, and I don't want it boiling all over my stove. So that's why I'm doing that. And in this pan right now, I'm toasting my almonds that go on the top. When you toast nuts, it just gives them a better flavor. So that's why you do that. Okay, the butter's all melted, so it calls for 2 cups of sugar. And 2/3 of a cup of water. And then you just stir it and heat it until it gets up to, one recipe says 286. His aunt's recipe says till it turns amber and pulls away from the side. So depends on how professional of a candy maker you are, what you do.
And just for the record, one.
Well, it's a good thing I put it in this bigger pan because it would have overflowed the other pan. So that was a good choice. You too. Then I'm just going to dump it in. So, oh. Well, I've got to tell you that my toffee does not always turn out, so it's kind of a waiting game to see if the butter separates. So far, it's looking okay, but we'll see. So on toffee, I put some chocolate on the top and the nuts that I was toasting, and I like dark chocolate, so that's what I'm using. If you sprinkle it on while the toffee's still hot, then it'll melt, and then in a few minutes I can spread it around. So that's what I'm doing.
Don't be chintzy on the chocolate.
Huh. Okay. Yep. So the chocolate chips are melted now, and it doesn't take very long because the candy's, it's hot. You just spread them around. I know Bart likes lots of chocolate, but I don't like a ton. So I make it how I like it. After you spread it around, then we'll sprinkle our nuts on, and it will just be so pretty. So I don't know what your favorite candy is. I like toffee a lot, but we used to go over to Bear Lake and buy it, and we ate too much of it, and we both got sick of it. So then I was kind of enjoying peanut brittle a little bit better, but I think I'm good for, it's been a while. I can have some toffee now and enjoy it. I probably could have done a few more nuts, but I'm not going to now. So now we have to wait till the chocolate sets up, and that takes a little while. And then we'll break it up like we did the peanut brittle. The chocolate has set up now, and it's ready to pop it out of the pan and break it up. So, and that did not work. Sometimes you need something more in the middle. There we go. All right.
And with that, I am just going to wrap this video up here. Tammie's had a very productive day. We've got candy to last us for a couple days now on that. So, and here's both of the finished products on that. So, anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. Hope to see you on the next one. Thanks for watching, and have a good one.